I
Oh, that was
sorry.
That's
That's awkward. Hi YouTube. We had a difficult decision to make just now, but this is the Out and About pod. It is unnecessary roughness with me and Kayce. Kayce's back. The boys and the girls are here. We're talking college football today, and you are you are subscribing, and you are doing all of that today.
Share it.
Yeah, do that too, and watch it and enjoy. Hi. Welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's college football podcast, brought to you by, Katie just realized it, I was waiting for that to happen, the great people at High Noon Hard Seltzer. She brings me the watermelon and the grapefruit So there you go. I'm going to crack open the watermelon if you guys don't mind.
I don't mind. I also would like to point out that Katie has a really nice butt.
All right. I did not know that we were going to be talking about Katie's butt today.
She just bent over in front of the camera and I saw it. I just wanted to give her a compliment.
All right, there you go. That's a bonus for you, YouTube. Katie's butt today. But High Noon Hard Seltzer, real juice, real vodka, real people like you and me. It is the best for college football in every other part of the year. And that voice you have heard is the returning after 1 week, Kayce Smith.
Hello. I'm adulting right now, Brandon. Would you let me babysit your kids?
No. God, no. How hard are you adulting?
Well, I mean, like you guys said last week, I'm in Connecticut with the Rutledges. However, Laura and her husband are on a couples trip. They never get to go away without Reese.
Yeah.
So her mom is helping, though. I will say it's not just me, but I'm being a great aunt right now, and I'm taking care of baby Reese. She's only 2.5, so I don't feel like I can fuck it up.
Now, who's taking care of you?
Reese?
No one.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
But I mean, Laura and Josh will be back today, so that'll be good. But I'm working remote. You're married, Brandon. You got to get away from the kids every once in a while, and I stepped up to the plate. They trust me with their kid. That's all that matters.
Well, very good. So that's where Kayce is. I got the two. Speaking of babysitting, I've got Jack and Katie right here. Hi.
Yeah, we're babysitting you.
Hell yeah.
Get that throat right. Is it good?
Throat goat.
Pause.
You can't say that, Brandon.
No, I just.
And we're back.
What that throat do? Okay, all right.
Okay.
Just everybody relax for a second.
I'm good. I think Katie's good.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Jack and Katie, thank you for babysitting Brandon while I am away, because normally I know that's my job, so I appreciate you both.
When do you think the World Cup thing with the laser pointers and Mohamed Salah, or is that how I say it?
Mo Salah, but yeah.
Mo Salah. When will that creep into college football? This year?
I think
we'll see laser pointers on kickers this year.
Yeah.
I don't know how it took this long.
But the fact that's the first time I saw it was crazy.
Yeah, like laser pointers have been a thing for 20 years.
A long time.
Yeah, and it never really became a thing. I don't know if you saw it, Kate. What's her name? That's Kayce.
I forgot.
Yes, I'm Kayce.
I don't know if you saw it, but Mo Salah for Egypt was lining up a penalty kick, and every laser pointer in the world was on him to where you couldn't even see his face hardly. It was just all laser lights. That's gonna definitely affect a Georgia Tech Virginia game this year or something.
Were the people who shown them not kicked out or something?
No,
no.
Impossible to find them.
I
mean, there were probably hundreds of them.
Because I went to this little loop background. Went to a national park, and they had this night thing where they had lasers that shot in the sky to point out constellations, but it had a beam, and that looked like the same kind of beam, so you could see where it was coming from. It just wasn't the end result.
Wasn't it dark out?
All I asked for...
Was it dark out? Yeah, it wasn't dark out.
All I asked for are sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
Sharks like the animal?
No, I think that's a quote from a movie.
I hate it here. Not
What
one of
movie
you...
is that?
You should. Come on.
Two Bros
What
or whatever,
movie is
Step
that?
Brothers?
Step Brothers.
No, that's not Step Brothers.
Hot tub.
All I asked for are sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads. I'm the boss. Need the info. Nothing. God almighty Jesus.
What movie is that?
Austin Powers is Dr. Evil.
I have never seen Austin Powers.
What's wrong with you?
Me either.
What's wrong with you?
I was young.
The movie creeps me out.
Jack, I mean, he's a lot younger than that. I think, when did Austin Powers come out?
97. You would have been 9 years old.
Yeah. So my parents probably didn't let me see it, and then I never circled back.
God, man. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter.
If you're going
You're just old.
You don't talk college football today?
If you're going to text, go further away from
Oh, my nails.
You can hear the nails.
Why are you texting?
I have reservations this weekend. I'm going to Chapel Hill, and the owner of Sup Dogs is texting me my reservations, and I needed to say thank you.
Oh, I didn't realize you were going to name drop that hard on the show.
They're in Best Bar. They're doing a good job.
Wait, but you're probably at the
Oh.
fake Sup Dogs, though, right?
I'm at the UNC location.
Yeah.
So that's not the real Sup Dogs?
No.
It's the real. It's not the original location.
Where's
The one that wins
Is ECU.
ECU.
It's
They-
their secondary location. They're going to open one in Raleigh soon for NC State.
So that'll be their third-a-dairy location.
Third of dairy, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Katie,
Okay.
are you? Before we move on to college football, I have to know, Katie. It is Wednesday, so you've got some time. What's the confidence meter?
Everyone in the office is like, "What are you feeling?"
Katie, you're going to lose. I
Brandon, don't be an asshole.
I don't want you to lose. She knows this. I want you to win. But look at the storyline. Coach K is going to win the national title in his last year. Sorry, sucks. It's going to happen.
I do think that the reps are going to be inclined to kind of call it that way. But regardless, like, I know this is going to come out an excuse, but we're not supposed to be there. This is Hubert Davis's first year. We don't have lottery picks. That's all Duke has is their last.
I hate this.
Jesus
She's
Christ.
already preparing.
You're
to
North
lose.
Carolina. You're
I'm
not the
sorry.
Sisters of the Poor here.
Yeah.
When have I ever been optimistic UNC fan? This entire season, I was realistic.
But if you're going to be
pessimist.
optimistic, you can be optimistic for UNC basketball. It's a top 5 basketball program.
And yeah, if you let me finish without the I was gonna say we're playing with nothing to lose. Duke is playing with nothing to lose. We're having fun. We're having more freedom. I don't think it's the pressure of Coach K being like, I will disinherit you from my will if you lose me this national championship.
You know what I can't not wait for? I'm really pissed off. I didn't want him to make to the Final Four. I don't give a shit about Duke. But you know this entire Final Four is going to be about Coach K. They're going to run so many fucking packages, so many memories, and it's just like, I don't care.
I don't
just
mind
don't
it.
care.
I don't mind it. I think I've had I think from the perspective of there's something going on. Like sometimes there's a lot of Final Fours that are just boring.
All
It's
right.
a blue blood.
We
You
all
need to
have-
a storyline.
All 3 of you have college basketball things I got to talk about before we move to college football. We got yours. You're going to lose Coach K. I wish you would win. You're
The
going to
more
lose. Sorry.
important Final Four is going on in Minnesota.
The more important Final Four, Kayce, is you're babysitting, and your Aggies are right here across the street playing for the NIT championship.
Yeah, no, I know. I will say I did tell Laura and Josh before we made all these plans, which obviously the NCAA fucked A&M. We know that if they were in the actual tournament, I would not be able to be with them. But I did feel like the NIT, I can watch it from afar. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's the NIT. I can call it what it is. Like, it's exciting. They're going to win an NIT championship, but they should be in the actual tournament. And everyone knows that.
Now you guys are such pieces of shit.
What do you mean?
You're UConn women's basketball. Y'all are such pieces of shit.
How?
People need to wake up. There's more inequity in women's basketball than any other fucking place. This is dirty what happened, and you know it.
No.
It's not right.
It is right.
It is not right.
Well, maybe people in North Carolina could go to the
Well,
to
they
games.
do.
Go to
Can I
games.
tell you what happened? So UConn, the number 2 seed, played NC State, the number 1 seed, in the Elite Eight. Do you know where they played that game?
Connecticut.
Bridgeport,
In UConn?
Connecticut.
Or in Connecticut.
Bridgeport,
Ooh, I should have gone to
Connecticut.
that game.
Bridgeport, Connecticut. That's not even right. You shouldn't have even accepted that. It's not fair.
That's a dangerous place.
It happened to
Bridgeport,
us once.
Connecticut.
We were the 1 seed 3 years ago. Played Oregon for the championship for the Elite Eight. Where did we play them? Portland.
Yeah, because they have people go to games there.
People go to games in
What
Mississippi.
about the LA Rams? Were they supposed to say no?
That's different. That's different.
How?
Those teams were on equal footing. This was
Yeah.
a 2 seed hosting a 1 seed.
It doesn't matter. We were the better team, so
If you had been in Raleigh, do you think you'd have been the better team in Raleigh? You don't know.
we don't know. Yeah, that's for sure. But I mean, they've been to 14 straight Final Fours.
Still
Geno's.
haven't won one since
Yeah, I know.
Morgan William broke you.
They-
Who are the other 3 Final Four teams?
Louisville,
Mm-hmm.
Stanford, and South Carolina. They're all, I think, better than UConn,
Pretty much the standard.
except for Louisville.
That's kind of the standard Final Four these days.
They have it's a star. I mean, we have the Coach K Final Four. The women's Final Four star-studded. And Paige is going back to Minnesota. That's the bigger storyline in Final Four. It's like she's coming home.
Okay, that's basketball. That's enough of that. God almighty. That was awful.
Brandon, can you do me a favor?
No. Yes.
Well, so since I'm being a responsible adult and will not be able to be at the NIT championship on Thursday, will you go to Madison Square Garden in the Yell Leader costume that you wore a few years ago?
1,000% no. And there's 2 reasons. A, I'm not going to a fucking NIT game. I've got some respect for myself. And B, the second I push Devlin I threw that yell leader uniform in the trash. That was cursed. I had to get rid of it. It's gone.
I'm actually, you know what? That's fair. But you know what I'm really proud of you for?
What?
You didn't call it a milkman costume.
What did I call it? Yell leader?
A yell leader costume. You
fucked
called
up.
it the right thing.
My mistake. Sorry. I guess I probably squeezed my nuts too hard while I was wearing it.
Oh, fuck.
At least I said I squeezed my nuts and not somebody else's. I'm getting better there too.
That's true. If I was in the same room as you, though, I would have slapped you, Will Smith style.
We have several things today. Not a whole lot of college football news.
There are a lot of Texas. I'm not surprised by this, but there are a lot of Texas A&M fans that came all the way to New York City to go to the NIT.
Well,
like shout out to them. And I know a lot of them listen. It shows how big of a fan base they actually are.
Well, another thing that shows how
Yeah,
big of
no
a fan
shit.
base they are is
cult.
our little bracket we did last week, which was the top plays
Yeah.
since 2000, the top plays of the millennium,
Yeah,
right?
21st century.
You should feel terrible, Kayce. What's her name? Kayce. Laura, whatever.
Reese.
You guys, your fan base just juiced the ballot and won some rounds you shouldn't have won. It was bullshit. Michigan State did the same thing, but you guys, Johnny play against Alabama made it all the way to the Final Four.
It should have.
No, it shouldn't have.
I think.
Why not?
Because there's a lot of better plays. The upset or the meaning of that game, sure.
Okay, so here's what Johnny beat. Johnny beat in the first round. He was an 11 seed. He beat 6 seed Jameis to Kelvin Benjamin
To win the
national title. But that play for some reason hasn't aged all that famously. Whatever. And then we've got in the second round, Johnny beat the prayer at Jordan Hare.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's wild. It shouldn't have beat the prayer at Jordan Hare. And then it beat
That one's tough.
and then you beat the Michigan State Hail Mary.
Also tough.
Well,
I think the Michigan State Hail Mary makes more sense than the prayer at Jordan Hare because the Michigan State Hail Mary was they juiced the ballots and got there.
yeah, Michigan State juice ballots too because they actually beat 2nd and 26 when Alabama won the national
There's this
title.
one Twitter Michigan State influencer that just has all his followers. He's like a niche influencer, I would say. He has 11,000 Michigan State followers. I think his name's Odell something. I'm going to get his name so I can shout him out. But he has pretty much single-handedly pushed Michigan State. And what they've told us the name of that play is trouble with the snap.
Yeah. So we're down.
Did that guy, was he the one that rallied all the Michigan State fans against you in the season?
No, I've never heard of him, so I also give him credit for that. But I have a lot of Michigan State fans muted on my timeline.
That's fair.
We're down to the finals, and it's the kick six against the there's trouble with the snap, the Michigan State punt.
It's the kick six. It has
It's
to be the kick
50-50 right now.
These Michigan State fans are insane, Kayce. These Michigan State
22 hours left. So if you're listening, you can go vote. There's 3,000 votes so far, and it's 50-50.
Even if Michigan State fans are crazy, college football fans are crazy, and college football fans across the board would unanimously say it's the kick six.
I mean, I know Michigan State fans can be as crazy as they want, but they're up against Auburn fans here. I'm surprised Auburn fans. I just think Auburn fans haven't rallied yet.
I'm going to quote tweet and be like, Auburn fans, are you really going to lose this?
This
is Odell.
All right, I'm going to read you the quote tweets of the.
Let me just shout out this guy really quick. Odell Brettham Jr. Thanks for shouting. He single-handedly has helped in this ball. He's Michigan State University Chief of Propaganda. I love that.
All right, so here's your quote tweets. The one's from MSU Sports Daily. One is from Just Wanna Tuck. Says finish. Forwards up for Spartan Nation. One's from Lego Sparty. Come on, Spartan fans, vote. It's just unbelievable. It's all Michigan State fans.
I just looked at Twitter right now to quote tweet it, and trouble with the snap is 51% now.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Auburn fans, well, of course, they have till tomorrow, but it's all Michigan State fans right now. I almost believe this is one of those evidences that college football fans are fucking stupid. Like if you care, and it's good that they care for us, I guess. But if you care so much that you're going to vote that play over the kick fucking six, like kick six is unbelievable. Now the trouble with snap's amazing too. But
it's amazing, but the kick six is something that you never, ever, ever see. And even whenever it happened in the NFL, what was it, this season, last season?
Yeah, Jaguars. It was week 1.
Yeah.
And they referenced kick six.
It's like Auburn, Alabama. Even people that don't watch college football know the kick six. And I will say with The Johnny play, obviously I'm biased. It would never beat the kick six for sure. But I do think that people remember that one more because Vern's call on it was so good too.
Agreed.
It wasn't just the play, it was the oh my gracious. And then also because that was really what solidified him as being a famous person. But the kicks, it shouldn't have even been a vote. It's the kick six. Like, I'm offended that it's not winning.
All right, I'm quote tweeting this. I can't, as an SEC guy, I'm getting involved. All right, fellas, let's be honest. College football is awesome. There's marching bands, and there's football players, and there's announcers, and there's millions of fans, and there's cheerleaders. But guess what? In the bedroom, there's not a bunch of girls and dudes saying P-E-N-I-S, go penis. That's not happening. So you gotta take care of your day. How is she not laughing at all?
I don't know.
Were you listening at all?
No, go ahead.
Nope.
It's the moment's past. P-E-N-I-S. Go penis. That's what a cheerleader would sound like if it was cheering your dick on to the finish line. But you're not going to need that with Roman swipes. You're going to be able
to learn to tune you out when you guys do this because you're such a good rapport when you talk about your dicks together.
Go dick, go dick, go dick, go. Go dick, go dick, go dick, go. That is what you'll be saying when you have Roman swipes because they are medically proven to help you last longer in bed. You suck in bed. Wow, this ad got right to it. Newsflash, you suck in bed.
Jesus.
That's why you need to use Roman, the secret to longer lasting sex. Roman swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, and fast acting, but don't require a prescription. I'm just picturing more of the football, like the defense chants. Defense.
Hard.
Don't come. Don't come.
No, hard. H-A-R-D. Hard.
Stay hard.
Stay hard. Okay,
Defense,
we're not on the same page here. Roman can ship swipes to you in discreet, unmarked packaging, and each swipes packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. They're super easy to use. Just use the swipes out of the packet. Take the swipes out of the packet, swipe it on, let it dry, and you're good to go. That's it. Go to GetRoman.com/Walker to get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. Again, that's GetRoman.com/Walker. P-E-N-I-S. Go penis. All right. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
Sorry,
good.
I'm having technical difficulties.
No, it's okay. It's fine. But I swear to God, when I see Laura Rutledge, I'm going to absolutely bitch her out for her internet.
To be fair, it's not her fault. I'm in like the basement.
I'll probably also never see her in my entire life.
Oh no. She's gonna come to the office.
Really?
Yeah.
I got Kirk coming to the office too.
When?
What fun you do.
Huh?
When?
Yeah, like July. Minahan, not Herb Street.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so today we don't have a whole lot of college football news. It's a slow week.
Lane Kiffin threw the first pitch at an Ole Miss baseball game and threw a golf ball.
Oh, who gives a shit?
Against Tennessee.
Then they got swept.
Lane Kiffin thinks Lane Kiffin is a lot funnier than Lane Kiffin is.
He also quote tweeted our account today.
Well, he took the bait.
That was when I tweeted that out. I said to myself, if this gets to Lane Kiffin, which it probably will, I think there's a 50% chance he quote tweets it.
So I don't know if you saw it, Kayce, but basically there was a picture. Deion was at Mississippi State yesterday, and Jack tweeted out a picture of Mike Leach and Deion, said best two coaches in Mississippi, and it marinated for about 24 hours. And Lane got it today, and Lane quote tweeted it with the Egg Bowl trophy. You douchebag fuck. Anyway, so Lane.
I love that move.
Lane's
Brandon.
move or our move?
What?
Lane's move or Jack's move tweeting in the first place?
All of it. I think Lane's move is very funny.
I like that I've basically trained Jack into a trained assassin for me.
Lane is good on Twitter. He's funny.
No, I mean, he did the emoji mic drop like his players did to fake injuries.
Right. And then you're right. Last week he came out before the Tennessee game and he was throwing out the first pitch and he thought brilliantly, I'm going to throw a golf ball and it's going to be so funny. And then Ole Miss got swept in hilarious fashion by Tennessee and Lane Kiffin's a dick.
And then their players were like, after
We
the
took them
first
lightly.
game, we took them lightly. Then they got swept. And then Tennessee actually had the funnier meme, but on their baseball account with just everything. Yeah, this thing. It's on our account, but there's just the meme's hard to describe because there's so much going on.
I love Tennessee and Ole Miss feuding because it's like douche on douche crime.
Yeah, SEC baseball season is just preparation for football season.
Yeah.
I'm not saying taking away from baseball. Obviously, it's
Especially
amazing. National champions.
Especially spring practice for SEC fans.
Yeah, yeah, and it's good because it gets people in the little back and forth with each other.
So
Brandon, I have a question.
yes, please.
What matchup is not in college football specifically is not douchebag versus douchebag? We're all douchebags.
Mississippi State against Mississippi State spring game.
Yep, I agree with that.
Okay. Outside of playing your own fucking team.
I don't know. The rest of you are all douches.
Something versus Vanderbilt.
Oregon against Washington State.
Who's not douchey?
Oregon's not that douchey.
Vanderbilt.
Army. Army's not.
Vanderbilt's so douchey.
But as a-
They're named after one of the biggest, the basis of so many conspiracies.
But I feel like Vanderbilt football, they're not douchey because they know how much they suck.
They're too douchey.
They're so douchey.
Okay.
Army, Air Force, and Navy. They're not douchey. How about that? The military
Cons?
schools.
What?
That's fair. The
Cons?
military schools are not douchey.
Well, there's douches. Cons is a douche for sure, but I don't think overall they're douchey. They're fighting for our freedoms, guys.
Fair.
Like the Army-Navy game is not douchebags versus douchebags. That's the only one.
There are douchebags in the stands, probably like Cons. Cons is senior douchebag, but I don't think when I watch MACtion, I don't think Mac teams are douchey.
Miami, Ohio, douchey school.
You think they're douchey?
Oh, douchey school.
Nothing-
People can back me up.
Nothing douchey about Akron.
Akron. Well, they were douchebags to me.
That's true.
I'd like it on record that I don't think Captain Cons is a douchebag.
Okay, that's fair.
That's a hot take.
Miami, Ohio is
Not a douchebag to me.
What? Whatever.
Miami, Ohio is the fight song underneath our intro.
Bowling Green, not douchey. Is there anything douchey about
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer coach there. So I think we can find something douchey about everybody. Central Michigan?
Eastern Michigan, I can't think of anything douchey. about.
Ypsilanti's a douche name for a city.
What about Syracuse?
Oh,
Oh
what?
God, Jim Boeheim
Lacrosse?
killed a guy.
Lacrosse?
God.
Okay, are we talking about schools or football?
Everything about the school.
Fan bases.
I think we can find something douchey about within seconds of anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Central Michigan, Jim McElwain.
Yeah, North Carolina, Katie Stats.
Jim McElwain, who
Mississippi
made us
State, Brandon Walker.
who made us take out a joke in our podcast about the
That's true.
the Sharks.
Yes, that's true. Mm-hmm.
What about CUSA? UAB.
First of all, it's douchey to say CUSA.
Okay, so then we just knocked
No,
out.
you know what's douchey about UAB? Every time there's an open job and everybody says Bill Clark, Bill Clark, Bill Clark, he was so underrated. Now he's overrated. Every time there's an open job, somebody says Bill Clark. He was great. Well, there's a reason he hasn't been hired.
Louisiana Tech, Mincy.
Mints.
Southern Miss, Brett Favre.
Colorado State.
I mean,
The state of Colorado is kind of douchey.
yeah, and Colorado
It's
State.
like thinking they need to be talked about 24/7 when it's Colorado State.
They just stole the best coach in their conference from Nevada.
Is that
'Cause they're-
douchey or is that like a
No, it's
good
not.
move?
I'm just saying about Colorado State. People don't realize they're probably one of the most highly funded G5 teams
I would have said-
in America.
I would have said the Fresno State coach was probably the best coach in their conference. He just went to Washington, right?
True.
Yeah. Washington, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Boys in a boat.
Jake
Rowing
Locker.
itself is douchey.
Jake Locker was such a douchebag.
Rowing is douchey. Rowing's probably the douchiest sport. Wouldn't you agree, Casey?
100%. I'd say lacrosse as well.
Yeah.
though.
Lacrosse
I know what
is
you're
up
trying to
there.
say.
Katie. I don't think Katie's a douche.
I'm just a bitch. That works.
Well, yeah.
They
I
wear
mean, we have that in
blazers. They
common.
wear blazers
Yeah.
to their game, like in
Like Auburn fans. Douches.
Yeah.
I think men's rowing is much more douchier than women's rowing.
100%.
But I still think lacrosse is douchier than men's
Yes.
rowing.
I agree.
So douchiest sports, we got lacrosse at number 1.
Hands down.
Yes,
Well, do you
hands
include
down.
equestrian and stuff?
That's a game, not a
polo?
sport. That's the horses.
It's in
are
the Olympics.
athletes.
Equestrian's a sport, 100%.
Is golf a sport?
What's it's horse race? Golf's a sport.
It's a game.
No, it's not. It's a sport.
What? Are you out of your
It's a
mind?
sport, Katie.
It's a game.
It can be a hobby. It
Is-
can be a game, but professional level, it's a sport.
Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, that fine, professional level, but to the average people, which is like 99.99999% of the players, it's a
That's
game.
what you need to get you. You need to get you a golfer, Casey. Yeah. Actually, both of you
You want
do.
to
trying to-
pick one out for me?
I'm trying to think.
I can get you a golfer. You want a golfer? I'll
I
get you a
mean, pick
golfer.
one out for me. I'll see what it
Koepka.
you know.
I'll text Riggs right now. It'll probably end up being Riggs. Okay, so today
I'd take Frankie if he wasn't engaged.
today's activity. All right, homewrecker. All right, today's activity is you know what? I would take Frankie too. He's got the restaurant.
Yeah. Also, I would take Frankie just because I'd get to hang out with Mr. Borelli all the time.
He knows how to cook Italian food. Like I would.
I mean, Mr. Borelli is a legend. I love Mr. Borelli so much that
I'd marry Frankie.
if I had to marry Frankie just to hang out with Mr. Borelli more, I would do it.
All right. So today's activity, it's a temperature check. Now we're going to do several things. We're going to bring back random players at the end of the show. Did you do 5 random players?
Yeah, I got him.
Kayce, did you do 5 random players?
We can tell her.
I did.
No one told me.
She's muted herself. See, I knew this
I
was
muted
going to.
myself. I just did them off the top of my head because you told me about 5 minutes before I came down to the basement of
I
this
didn't know you
building.
were going to be on the show until 5 minutes before the show.
I told you I was going to be on the show.
I don't
told
be
you they
listening
have
to
a-
you. I don't be listening to you.
He
I
doesn't
told
listen
you.
to
I said
women.
they have a soundproof studio in the apartment complex. I will be doing the show when I am remote. I'm not on vacation. I'm working remotely and being a fucking adult.
Okay.
I will tell you, Brandon, the first day that I was on my own, having to change Reese's clothes, I did put them on backwards, and there is photo evidence of it.
Oh boy.
I was trying to button the front, like I guess the buttons go in the back for the onesies.
Everybody pray
I
for
was
this
trying
kid.
to button the front, and Laura's mom just relentlessly made fun of me and took photos to send to Laura, and I've not lived it down yet.
I think ever since you got your merch bonus from the Brady shirt, the split shirt, now you're wearing like what looks like a split shirt today. You just don't know the front and back of clothes.
It says "Say less, mean more." That's you.
Yeah, that probably is me.
As
to
a
be
kid in
honest.
That is
college,
you.
I went to practice with my clothes inside out one day.
I say more mean less.
I got dressed in the
That's
dark.
true.
So it doesn't stop when you're that young.
All right, so temperature check throughout the country, and then some random players. I also had a third thing. What was we did a tweet.
Yeah.
We did a tweet.
Heartbreaking loss.
Heartbreaking loss. So let's move on let's get going because we got to go. Temperature check throughout the country, and I got to thinking about this. Who's feeling good? Who's feeling bad? And who doesn't know how to feel throughout each conference? We'll use the ACC for example. Who's feeling good? Which fan bases are just coming right now? Life is good.
Which fan bases are just coming?
Which
That's
fan
what she
bases are just
said.
coming? They just wake up and come. Who's feeling really good about themselves? Who's feeling bad? Temperature check of right now in the offseason because it's spring right now. But coming out of last season, you either had momentum or you didn't. And you've used the last 3 or 4 months to build momentum or you haven't. So who's feeling good? Who's feeling bad? Now, to me, in the ACC, Miami's feeling really good. Miami fans have convinced themselves that Cristobal, they got a sitting head coach. They got Oregon's head coach. Last time they hired a coach, they got their own defensive coordinator, Manny Diaz, and it didn't work out. Well, this time they got somebody who's coming home to Miami, who was doing something at Oregon, who was in playoff contention, and now he's come to Miami. He's put together what I think is one hell of a coaching staff, and he's recruiting at a high level already. So I think Miami fans in the ACC, Kayce, feeling really damn good.
Yeah, but I also feel like every year Miami fans feel good. Like we all had Derek King on our top 5 quarterbacks going into last season. They thought he was going to be the answer. And then like the year before when, they were talking about like, oh, who's going to transfer where? I feel like Miami fans are feeling good. They have hope all the time.
Yeah, I think so. And there's listen, when you're Miami football and you know that when you have a good team, you have a national title worthy team, like that's every decade or so they're going to have 1 or 2 years where they're capable of doing that. I think you always think eliteness is right around the corner. So when they get a good quarterback or a good team, they think it's about to happen again. And they have a good quarterback coming back in Van Dyke. They got the new coach. I think they really are feeling themselves pretty hardcore right now.
Well, and you know how like Tennessee, we always say like, oh, you guys are living in the 90s. You're living in 97. Like Miami is living in the early 2000s too. Like if you are a fan of Miami football, you look back at those early 2000s teams and like you still think that could potentially be your team again.
I got 2 more teams in the ACC I think are feeling really damn good about themselves. And I know there's only like 40 of them, but I would imagine Wake Forest fans are feeling pretty fucking good. They got Sam Hartman coming back. They had a great year this year. They return almost the entire team. They got to be feeling really fucking good. And I think Pitt fans, turned a corner last year. They developed a quarterback who came out of nowhere. He was average, then elite.
Subpar.
Okay, subpar, then elite.
Yes.
Like he just went from subpar to elite in one offseason. Now they went out and got a guy who's shown elite flashes before. Keaton Slovis is their quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What is that face?
I'm thinking.
Are you sad?
No. I mean, I know they're my conference.
Like Pitt's got everybody back.
I think their entire offensive line.
And the receivers. And they got almost everybody back. And they got Keaton Slovis. Like, I think Pitt fans are feeling really fucking good. Those are the three in the ACC I think really are feeling at a very high right now in the offseason.
Addison, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
Who did he win the award? Or
Yeah.
He won, the Mackmore, whatever.
Whatever
The
the wide
Bolitnikoff?
receiver- Yes.
Bolitnikoff.
The Bolitnikoff.
Great
I
name.
love saying that word, Bolitnikoff.
Bolitnikoff.
I think also NC State fans have some very
Devin Leary's back.
very high hopes for this season.
I think they lost. They have a bunch of turnover.
Yeah, but they do have the quarterback back, which I believe is a good start.
They love Dave Doran anyway, regardless. So
Now,
He's a pretty good coach.
let me tell you who I think's feeling bad.
no, we're not that. We're the third category you mentioned.
I think.
Can I say my number one who I think feels bad?
Yeah, please.
Florida State.
No, they've already convinced themselves again about
That's
Mike
that.
Norvell.
That's why the third category exists for me is because
But see, the reason
Go
I say
ahead.
that is because I know they've convinced themselves. And again, we talk about this all the time with Florida State Twitter. I think that they were so mad at the Dion move that they have now tried to convince themselves on the other side just to convince themselves. But I think Florida State fans deep down in their heart know they're kind of fucked.
okay, she's right. Where Florida State is right now is outwardly they're saying the right things and they believe in Mike Norvell. But the second, like if they come out in the first half of the first game and they fall behind 14-6, they're going to freak the fuck out. And they're going to be like, Mike Norvell, it's got to change now. It's got to happen now. I'm done with this program until there's a change. That will happen almost immediately because they don't really believe. They're acting like they believe it. They don't believe it. She's right.
They're in denial. It's like they're like the Instagram model of college football right now. They only put like the highlights out on social media to make it look like, oh, we like love our team and we're so happy. But really like deep down, they're having like multiple issues at home and they actually fucking suck. And I do think
that was a brilliantly profound statement right there.
I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's the highlight reel. Florida State social media is trying to be the highlight reel, when in reality, they were burning Deion Sanders jerseys just months ago because of a recruiting thing. They're down on themselves, and they're trying to act like they're not, but they are.
I actually think North Carolina fans are down bad a little bit. You just had your best chance.
I go back and forth between the down and the don't know how to feel. But
if down's in there at all, I think you're down.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We saw last year the entire offensive line returned and then was much, much worse. And I like Drake May, I like Jacoby Criswell, but just I can't. You can't talk to me until I see something on the field. I can't talk me into liking something.
Will you ever have a quarterback as good as Sam Howell under Mac Brown? Probably not. And you just like stepped on a rake with him as your quarterback. Like you fell apart with him as your quarterback. So how will you improve?
I mean, Drake May got recruited by a bunch of other good schools, so that's a good sign. But again, I don't. Yeah,
now,
I need to see it on the field.
I had Florida State in the fan base that doesn't know what it feels, but here the main team that I think doesn't know what to do. I don't think Clemson fans know what to do with their hands right now because they're used to walking into the conference barbecue with their chest puffed out and they got their best outfit on and everybody comes up to them and daps them up. You're the man. You're the man. You're the man. And now they walk in and people avert their eyes like, is that the old dude? Is that the guy that thinks he's all that but isn't really? Clemson fans have no idea how to act right now because they know they belong on top of the conference. They believe they belong on top of the conference, and I'm not sure they're on top of the conference. But they might be.
No, they are. And of course, now I want to apologize to all the 30-year-olds that I used to make fun of for being in bars when I was young because I now realize they were just trying to have a good time. But they do feel like the 30-year-old in a college bar surrounded by college students right now. They feel like
her references are on point today.
That's what happens when people go to Connecticut.
Apparently
specifically 860 in Connecticut. I think she's not too far from where. I'm not going to ask her where she is because I don't want to dox where. But I will ask her after. She may not be too far away from where I literally grew up.
So the water's getting to her.
Yeah, something about it.
Yeah, no. Oh, and also I will say, I will probably never be a parent of my own. I don't really want my own kids. But when you got to take care of kids, your brain has to operate differently. So Brandon, the days that you are in a bad mood because of your kids, I get it. The good news is I can just give this one back when I'm done.
I'm never in a bad mood because of my kids.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever.
Shut up, Jack.
I was backing you
we've
up.
done.
I know,
We
but
did. You know that we did a whole
I was doing a thing.
year of Zoom calls from your household.
Well, that was quarantine. That was
quarantine. That was different.
That was different.
We didn't know how to act during quarantine.
Everyone
There were
hates
fat
everyone.
squirrels all over the place. Like what? It was
Remember when I accidentally told your youngest that Santa Claus wasn't real?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
And then also, what happened when you found like was it a squirrel that had a bunch of baby squirrels?
no,
Bunnies?
no. There.
But it was
Bunnies. We had
bunnies.
bunnies. Yeah, we had bunnies.
Baby
And the
bunnies.
cat
We
ate
had-
'em all.
No, he didn't eat them all. He ate the first two. And then I that's when I discovered how bunnies do their children. They dig a hole in the ground and they put like 4 or 5 in there and cover it up. And so when the cat found it, I went in there and I was like, oh, there's a bunny, and I just kept pulling them out. And yeah,
Do their children.
circle
Very specific.
circle of life. It was
I think Clemson is on top of the division. Or
well, they probably are.
If Clemson isn't, who would you put there?
But I don't think
NC State.
I don't think Clemson's walking in the season with their chest puffed out anymore.
I agree with
I think
you.
they got humbled a little bit for the first time in a decade.
And their quarterback that was supposed to be the next Trevor, they're like, wait a second, maybe this freshman is the next Trevor.
Right. See, the thing is, just like I said, Florida State fans, first half of the first game, they're going to
Yeah.
realize that they've been lying to themselves. I think first half of the first game, if DJ throws a pick before he throws a touchdown, the pitchforks will be out.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It depends on.
Especially because when DJ played, in the 2020 season and he had that awesome game against Notre Dame, it was like, oh my God, like they didn't even need Trevor Lawrence. They have this next guy, and he just didn't turn out to be that guy last season. I don't know if it was just like beginner's luck or what the situation was, but Clemson fans went into last season thinking that it didn't matter if Trevor Lawrence left. And now obviously you look and you're like, yeah, it did fucking matter that Trevor Lawrence left your team.
Yeah.
And they have a new offensive coordinator this year. I think they hired from one.
They got 2 new
From what
coordinators, too.
Within.
Oh, yeah. What am I saying? Yeah, Brent Venables gone too. So,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
It's a season of change at Clemson. They
It
haven't
really
had
is.
change in a while. So, all right. So that's the ACC, in my opinion. I like Virginia Tech with a new coach. Virginia,
Syracuse is in purgatory
Wait,
with
where-
Georgia
Dino.
Tech's in purgatory.
I'm like, who did Virginia get for their head coach?
Brent Pry, I think.
That's
his
Virginia
name
Tech,
is.
yes.
Who did Virginia get?
Yeah.
Tony Elliott.
Oh, right.
Clemson's offensive coordinator.
Interesting.
Jesus. Big Ten is next. And yes? Did you raise your hand? Or were you just
No, I moved my
brushing
hair out
your
of my
hair
face.
back? Oh, sorry. You were
I
doing
moved my hair out of my face.
you were doing hot girl move. You were like, oh, let everybody see me.
No. It was kind of falling in my face, and I felt like I looked kind of emo.
The way you did it was hot girl move. Like do it again. Just there you go.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. All right.
Put that out on YouTube, Jack.
It's there. It was right here.
All right. So
I'm just gonna keep doing it to fluster Brandon.
Big Ten. I only have one team that I think feels really, really good right now. Anybody want to guess who that is? Huh? No.
Michigan.
No.
I think it's Ohio State.
No.
What?
Oh, it's Michigan State.
I think Michigan State feels really fucking good.
Even if they lost Kenneth Walker?
They don't care. They don't. Michigan State fans right now,
They love you.
They-
They love them some Michigan
they
State.
believe Mel Tucker is a top 5 coach in this country, and he might be. He absolutely might be. I don't know that he is or he isn't. But after 1 year of success, they think Mel Tucker. If you dare put out on Twitter that XYZ is the best coach in the country,
You say Jim Harbaugh's better than him.
they are coming for your ass. They absolutely worship Mel Tucker right now. I think Michigan State fans feel as good as Michigan State fans have felt in decades.
I'm getting a
They
graphic
worship
made
him,
for that.
but the same week that he got the $90 million contract, they went out and got their fucking asses kicked.
They did. I mean, I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. Now, he did absolutely overperform based on expectations last year, but we'll see. We'll see if he can run it back. All I'm saying is when we're talking about fan bases and how they feel, I'm not sure there's anybody in the Big Ten that is as full of piss and vinegar as Michigan State right now.
If I was Ohio State, I would. I almost think Ohio State may be the best team in the country next year.
Well, they might be. But do you think Ohio State fans feel any different coming this year than they always feel?
I think they're really excited because they got Oklahoma State's defensive coordinator.
I think they're a little weirded out because of the way Michigan ragdolled them.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I would agree with you, Brandon. I think that like as a fan, I mean, Ohio State's going to feel how Ohio State always does because they're Ohio State fans. But you go out there and you get the shit kicked out of you by Michigan for the first time in a long time. You're not, and you missed the playoff. Obviously, you're not coming into the season with your chest puffed up near as high.
There's a lot of teams, and I completely agree, Kayce. There's a lot of teams in this conference that are like kind of in that purgatory. Like,
I think most of this conference is in purgatory.
Yeah,
I looked at like Purdue has had injury issues, but they're happy with their coach.
I would put Rutgers up there with Michigan State. I think, but it's a different kind of like.
Well, Rutgers fans worship Greg Schiano.
I know, like he's Italian Jesus.
Yeah, and they love they love him. But I got Michigan State far and away. Now Michigan, I have in the not sure how to feel category because they just came off their best season, right? And then they had to go through that shit with Harbaugh flirting with the NFL. Now he says he'll never do it again, but it might have cost them their offensive coordinator. They lost Hutchinson and Ojabo, excuse me. Like, I don't know how confident they are. Now they're going to act confident. I don't know how confident they are that this is the new normal as opposed to an aberration.
And
I do think that the obviously getting killed in the playoff hurt that. But I think that the Ohio State game, I mean, yeah, you don't want to go to the playoff and get your shit kicked in ever. But like we've seen that with Oklahoma fans in the past. You know, they're always, it's like, oh, hey, like they made it to the playoff. That's good enough for them. I think Michigan being able to get over that hump and beat Ohio State the way that they did, I feel like they probably have more confidence than they normally do.
And I mean, if you're a Michigan fan, you could convince yourself, hey, we lost to Georgia, who won the national championship.
Yeah.
But they have the biggest quarterback competition, I think, in the offseason right now.
Yeah,
Cade and JJ.
Yeah, I would say that. Although I think
sounds like a weird.
Oh, sounds like a frat party.
Sitcom.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking.
Well,
I think it sounds like a cartoon, like a kid's cartoon.
Cade and JJ.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Cade and JJ on that. You're actually gonna watch it with. I forgot the baby's name after.
All right, you know, on this podcast we talk about how me and Brandon are mom and dad, and you guys are our kids.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The good news is that you're not actually our kids, so we didn't have to help you get through college. The bad news is you guys probably had to take out student loans to get through college, and that fucking stinks.
No, yeah, and that's a very relatable financial decision that a lot of people listening probably had to make. And the thing is, it stays with you. It's not when you graduate, they're not gone unless you somehow hit the lottery or something. But there are some services out there, like Earnest, that can help you with your student loans.
And let me tell you guys something. Earnest was voted best student loan refinancing overall by NerdWallet. And I'm going to be honest, if NerdWallet is telling you you're number one, you listen to that because the nerds know what's up.
Yep. And NerdWallet, that seems like nerd money. And I want nerds.
We all want that nerd money. And Earnest can help you right now. You can reduce your loan term, save money, combine multiple loans into a simple monthly payment. And as all of us do, we talk a lot, right? Katie talks a lot. Jack talks a lot. I talk a lot. Brandon definitely fucking talks a lot. Yep. With Earnest, you can actually talk to a real live human to get help. So it's not just on the internet. You don't have to sit on one of those little chat queues. You don't have to go to the bank. You can actually talk to a real live human, and they can help you pay less because when you pay less interest, you have more money to spend or put towards your goals.
Yes. And that's how Earnest helps us along the way. And I think there's an offer, right?
Well, of course there is, Jack.
And it's going to help us with some more money.
Yes, Earnest loves to give away free money. So it only takes 2 minutes to see what your new rate could be, and there's no credit impact at all, which is huge if you've ever had things hit your credit. And right now, Earnest is offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus, free $100 if you refinance your student debt at earnest.com/barstool, which is not available in all states, but it's available in most. So go check it out. Once again, you'll get $100 cash bonus when you visit earnest.com/barstool to refinance your student loan. Visit earnest.com/barstool for more details. Again, it's not available in all states, but it takes 2 minutes to check it out. So go do it. Is my whispering thing going to work if I'm not in the studio?
You know what? Maybe just for this one, no whisper.
Just read it normal?
Read it normal. Read
it normal. Wow, I got to break some habits. All right, terms and conditions do apply. Earnest student loan refinancing made by Earnest Operations, LLC, NMLS 1204917, California Financing Law License number 6054788, 535 Mission Street in San Francisco, California, 94105. Visit earnest.com/licenses for a full list of licenses.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Now, I got two fan bases I think are feeling down on themselves, feeling bad right now in the Big Ten. I don't think Penn State fans are happy at all. I think they might put on a brave face. I just don't think they like James Franklin. I've thought it for a long time. They don't believe in James Franklin. They're happy with his recruiting results, but they're not happy with what the recruiting results turn into. I think that's headed for an ugly divorce. I think Penn State fans, again, might outwardly say, you know what? Yeah, we are. Yeah, well, deep down, you're not very confident. And I think Penn State fans kind of feel bad. I think Indiana fans had a taste of that sweet, sweet nectar, that top 10 love last year, and fell on their face, went 2-10, and realized, oh, fuck, we're Indiana. They just, they saw mortality last year, and it sucks when you see that.
I would agree with that. I think with Penn State fans, and I know, you said it, I've said it before, that you don't think Penn State fans like James Franklin. Every time we say that, we get like a flurry of Penn State fans on social media be like, well, how do you know? I'm a Penn State fan and I like him. Like, no, you fucking don't. Like, and the Penn State fans that I actually know personally do not like James Franklin. They love the way he recruits, like you said, but they think he's kind of a douchebag. We're talking about douchebags in this episode. There it is. I would throw Minnesota in that, list too.
I think they're feeling really good.
You do?
Yeah. I think they feel really good too.
And
based off of what?
I think they're happy being relevant, and PJ has made them that. And Minnesota was like surprisingly good last year,
Yeah.
and they got is Tanner Morgan back for his 27th year?
Yeah. Same as Sean Clifford, I think.
Yeah, it's which I don't think Sean
Clifford's
Clifford being back
yeah.
is good, but Tanner Morgan's back. Like I think Minnesota fans feel
They have a
pretty
really
good.
good defense too. I'm looking at the SP
I don't.
Paws.
It's just a couple of years ago, it was like they were like the high of the high. They loved that team, and then they underperformed. I don't know. I guess you're right. But Minnesota fans, when they had that historic season, even they were self-aware of oh, we haven't done this in so long. We should enjoy this while it lasts. So you're probably right.
But I think
they might not know how to feel.
I think now they have a seat at the table, and they're overwhelmingly pleased with that.
That's fair.
By the way, I quote tweeted the finals of the voting, and I said Auburn fans, don't let them take this from you, or don't let them spam this away from you. And now it's 59% Auburn, 41% Michigan State.
You see, and every Auburn
dance puppets.
Every Auburn fan ever hate or follows you because they all hate you.
Absolutely hate me.
Yeah.
Correct, because they are just absolutely delusional pieces of shit.
Yeah, I'm not getting into that, but I
oh,
will
okay,
say,
so you can have your battle with Michigan State. I can't have my battle with Auburn.
I didn't say you can't.
It's your battle. It's not his
It's
battle.
I will support you, and if they're really beating up on you, I'll come in.
Those good, wonderful people at Michigan State, you have a problem with them, but these delusional pieces of shit.
70 IQ Spartan tribe.
We move.
Brandon,
Hi.
Speaking of beef, speaking of having issues, I was told to ask you, and I just now remembered because of what you guys were talking about. Laura wants to know why you hate Paul Feinbaum so much.
Well, A, I'm jealous of him. B, he.
No, you hate Paul Feinbaum. We backed up Paul Feinbaum.
No. I don't hate Paul Feinbaum. I said Lee Corso is bigger, but Brandon many times on this podcast for the last few years.
I think he is. I think he is talentless. He is big-eared. He is ugly. He is only famous because he was in the right spot at the right time. He was a terrible writer at the Birmingham newspaper that happened to be where the SEC and ESPN are located, and it failed upwards at every point in his career. And he is a worthless piece of shit that somehow is rich. And I am insanely jealous. That's my thoughts on
But
Paul
you're
Feinbaum.
rich now too.
I'm richer than I was.
Okay, I will pass along the message, Jack. If you could clip that for me,
Yeah,
I'll just play it for her when they
100%.
get home. Yeah, or if you want to put it on. The
Also,
internet,
Laura Rutledge, maybe don't worry about what I think about everything. Okay, I'm Brandon
I
fucking
will-
Walker. I'll think what I want to think.
Well, I will say that I kind of like teed it up. I was saying that you have beef with all these people, and I don't know how it started, but I was like, who he really hates is Paul Feinbaum, and she was like, why? And I was like, I think he just fucking hates him. And I knew all the reasons, but I really wanted you to say it on this podcast so then I can show her when she gets home.
So now you're the puppet
exactly
master.
how much you hate him.
You're the puppet master making me dance.
Yeah, I'm finessing you again.
Finesse queen here.
By the way, did you get tagged in that tweet last night a bunch?
I don't know what tweet.
Where's Mississippi State located?
No, I didn't get tagged in that.
Where is it located?
Starkville.
No, I guess it's located in Mississippi State.
Oh, there's a
Yeah.
it has its own zip code.
Okay, there
Yeah.
was Sir Yacht, who is the guy from
Right.
way back, but he did a video last night, and it was about this massive, or not, our like fun fact about college football that Mississippi State's located in Mississippi State, Mississippi.
That's true. It has its own like post office.
Okay.
I
And
think-
then people were tagging me and saying, "Ask Brandon this. Ask Brandon this."
all right. I'm gonna make one announcement right here. Big Game Boomer, it's over. It's over.
I was literally gonna bring it up, and then I was like, do we need to like give him extra publicity? Because okay.
Stop following him. Stop retweeting him. His lists are utter garbage. He's a
That's
piece
the
of
point.
trash. He doesn't know what he is talking about, and he is absolutely a barnacle on the hull of college football and better podcasts like ourselves right now. He has begged for our attention. He has begged for our endorsements. He's begged for our retweets. He's begged for everything. We're the reason that you have life, us and a lot of other college football podcasts. So it is over. If you follow Big Game Boomer, stop doing that. Deactivate your social media, whatever you have to do. He does not know what he's talking about, and he's an asshole. Oh, did he DM us? Oh,
He
my
DM'd
God.
us this in December.
First off, huge fan of your podcast. It's highly entertaining. Second, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say that. Okay. All right. So basically, you have begged your way into our lives or attempted to, and now you're taking shots at us because your piece of shit troll account hasn't really taken off. It is over, Big Game Boomer. Okay.
Well, I obviously I saw all of it, but what was his exact complaint that we're stealing his lists?
Correct. Like this motherfucker invented lists.
Lists. First of all, we haven't done lists in a long time. We were doing brackets.
I think it's Barstool U, I think, is the one that started it, but because we're associated.
But why is he taking shots at us personally? We were personally tagged, not even just unnecessary roughness.
I know.
Personal.
Yeah,
tags, individual tags.
he tagged me, you, Big Cat, and he said, guys, you're stealing my content. You put a number and a name beside it, like every other content creator in the history of content creation.
Ever heard of BuzzFeed?
Like that list happened. You didn't create lists. It's over, Big Game Boomer. You've gotten a free ride long enough.
He thinks he created lists. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
All right. You want to move to the Big 12 now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to.
I got two fan bases I think are feeling really good about themselves. Number one,
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
and I'll tell you why. Because they feel good every damn year. Because no matter how many times they get knocked down,
5 games last year.
No matter-
They didn't make a bowl game.
no matter how many times they get knocked down, no matter how many times the college football train runs them over on the tracks and proves them to be overrated pieces of trash, Texas fans will get up, brush themselves off, and say, all right, when's fall practice start? We're back, baby. They are feeling themselves, and for the first time in a long time, I think they're right. They got the quarterback, the running back, the receiver. Oh, my God, they're back. They're going to get their doors blown off to Alabama, and then they might not lose again. Texas back, and Texas fans know it, too. Horns up.
Horns down, first of all. And I will tell you this, I know that it's like what, March 30th?
Yeah.
I think it's
Sure.
almost April. This is going to be if we look forward to the season and what we're going to be arguing about, there's always an underlying thing. I want you guys to know that when they lose, which they will, they won 5 games last year. And I understand they have a new quarterback. It's Sark's second year, whatever. I will never forgive you guys for betraying me the way that you are right now.
I'm at least going to wait till, if they're good, then I'll be excited.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. These two for the last 2 months have been like, oh, they're back. They're back.
They're so back.
They're not back.
They brushed
won
themselves
5
off.
games
Yeah.
last
They
year.
go to 24/7
It's really admirable if you think about
What's
it.
the difference between this and Florida State? You were saying
Oh,
how Kayce,
come on.
hold on,
Pish
hold on, hold on.
posh.
How Kayce was saying,
Who's Florida State's quarterback?
Yeah. They got Quinn Ewers?
no, but I'm saying about
Jordan Travis?
But I'm saying about Florida, how Florida State, how Kayce said that they come in every year externally are excited.
Oh, they're
gung-ho,
stubborn.
but then-
They don't acknowledge reality, but Texas fans, they've just got
They
stick-to-itiveness.
do not.
They're just
They're
they're dogged. They're determined.
Name a
Listen.
running back on
Listen.
Florida State.
Can't do it.
Or wide receiver.
Can't do it.
Listen, this is not just because of the rivalry. A&M fans are also delusional a lot too. That's fine.
No shit.
We'll talk about them, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're coming.
But Texas fans, when you can tell when Texas fans are down bad, when they're just taking constant shots at A&M. Because when Texas is doing well and they're actually back, they're like, oh, whatever. We don't care about what A&M is doing. Take a look at social media right now. They're talking about the NIT. A&M beat them in baseball last night. It's like, oh, well, like Texas fans are down bad. And I agree with Katie. It has a little bit of the Florida State-esque feeling to it where they're not going to admit that they feel down bad. But if you're the University of Texas, one of the biggest programs in the country, and you don't make a fucking bowl game, you cannot feel good at going to the next season. You can't.
But here's the thing. The only time they're down bad is when football's actually going on.
Yeah.
And right now it's March, and they don't have to worry.
And guess what? There's more months out of the year that football doesn't go on.
They don't have to worry about the inconvenience of getting their ass kicked on Saturday. You know what's going to happen this Saturday? Nothing. You know what's going to happen next Saturday? Nothing.
They'll play Texas Tech in baseball or something.
No, this Saturday.
Oh, that actually wasn't good. Didn't they lose to the guy that stole home the other night?
Yeah, they did. And then they lost to A&M yesterday.
So actually, they're kind of down bad in baseball too.
Yeah, and they were the number 1 team just 3 weeks ago, and then the Bars. I can't say that.
Okay. Well, Max.
I say this every time. I think that Texas is back. It's obviously a joke. We do it on social media all the time. Sam Ellinger obviously put that on the map. However, stop making. It's coming in my face. Oh,
Kayce, relax.
Racing.
I caught myself.
All right.
It's falling in my face.
All right.
Okay. I don't think Texas is back is fair unless they're in the hunt for the national title, because Texas should be.
They
never know.
They might be.
You never know.
I hope they
I'm
are.
saying, that's where we're gonna argue until the season. First of all, they're gonna get their fucking asses kicked by Alabama.
knows?
I mean, they're gonna get their doors blown off.
Who knows?
Like doors blown off by Alabama, and then
who knows?
And then it's gonna be the whole SEC
But
thing.
boy, if they don't.
And where is it in T-Town?
It's in Austin.
It's in Austin. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Who cares? That stadium stinks.
All
College
right.
football will be better when Texas is good.
My other team feeling good in the Big 12, and you don't like them either, but I think it's pretty inarguable. I mean, Baylor fans got to be feeling great.
Yeah, no, I don't like them. Obviously, they're my most unlikable team, even more than Texas, because I actually enjoy Austin and I had some good friends that went there. But I can't argue with that. I mean, we put Baylor at the top of our list, a couple weeks ago when we talked about it. Like Dave Aranda had done, and I think that's the big thing. When you look at these coordinators who had such great success for a long time at like top programs, and then they can prove that they can win right away, like how could you not feel good about that?
The team I think feeling bad in the Big 12, I've only got one. You can't feel great if you're Iowa State, right? Like, they just had their quarterback. They just had their running back, their generational running back, Breece Hall. They just had Brock Purdy, the senior that's been there forever. They just had all that lined up. They came as the number 8 team in the country, and they went, 6-6, 7-5, something like that? Like, they shit the bed. And I know Matt Campbell's like this name that we're supposed to think's one of the best coaches in the country, but didn't really do anything when he had the opportunity. And you have to be wondering, has our window closed? Has our chance gone by? That's a question. I mean, I'm not saying that it's true or false. I'm not saying I know what they're going to do this year, but I'm saying if you're Iowa State coming into 2021, you thought, man, finally, the team I've waited for all my life is here. It failed. So how are you feeling going into 2022? How can you be positive going into 2022 if that happened?
I mean, when Matt Campbell signed his contract at Iowa State, it was like, oh my God, he wants to stay and build this program in the Big 12, and they're going to be at the top, and they're going to be competing with Oklahoma and Texas for that number 1 spot. And then it just fell flat on its face. So you have to think they're feeling bad.
Now, the team I think doesn't know what to feel in the Big 12. There's a meme, right, on social media of a crying person with a mask on over their face. You know the meme I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
I know.
You're very
I know.
angry, but you've got the mask on. You're trying to be happy. And they're telling us they're happy as hell. Boy, they're telling us that they got the guy they wanted, that they're about to be tougher, they're about to be better, and they don't care about that bitch out west. But I don't think Oklahoma fans really believe everything they're saying. I think Oklahoma –
I would put them in the Florida State category. I really would. And like the meme that you're talking about is absolutely correct. I also think of Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker, where he's like crying and his makeup's crying off, but then he's like holding his lips up like that.
Right.
That's the way I feel like Oklahoma fans feel right now. They're going to put on some front and say, but the thing is, they haven't even put on a front. All they've done is bitch about Lincoln Riley. So maybe that changes.
Well, they believe. I think they're acting like they believe Brent Venables is the one to lead them back to where they ought to be. I think they like Brent Venables. They think the future is going to be great, but they're not 100% sure. So I feel like
think they're talking themselves into it.
100%. Yes. 100%.
Even though, like, if you have if you have Brent Venables, like, again, we go back to the Dave Aranda thing, like, you should feel good because he was a coordinator at a winning program. But I think the way that they bitched and moaned about Lincoln Riley for so long, and then the Caleb Williams thing and the transfer portal thing and all that, they're trying to convince themselves now that they're not as upset as they were. You know that the first time USC loses, or if USC has a bad season, they're going to be right back on Lincoln Riley's ass.
All right, we're going to move to the SEC, and we're going to go quickly through this category because
What
I've
about
got.
Oklahoma State?
I think they're just in the middle.
I think they're just Oklahoma State. Like, they kind of missed their moment last year. Like, they beat Oklahoma. They got Lincoln Riley out of there. Everything was turning out Oklahoma State. Everything was going to be fantastic, and then they lost to Baylor. And Baylor kind of took their place as the happy one because Baylor finished strong. Baylor went to the New Year's Six Bowl, and Oklahoma State ended up not going to the playoff. Oklahoma State was going to go to the playoff, and they lost and just blew everything. So I think they're in the mode where they got real close to being on top of the world, and now they're just back where Oklahoma State always is, as probably the second or third most reliable program there. Not a bad place to be, just not on top of the world.
And
I agree.
I will say Oklahoma State. I mean, it was a successful season. Looking back, they won the Fiesta Bowl,
Right.
And they came back against Notre Dame, a motivated Notre Dame team.
Yeah.
So I think they're feeling like they usually feel.
I
Maybe
think-
a little bit better, but nothing. They're in that middle.
I think
range.
Oklahoma State, from year in and year out basis, is a solid top 15 to 18 program, and that's exactly where they are right now. I don't think anything changed with them. It could have, but it
Isn't
didn't.
Spencer Petras back?
Well, he was Iowa's quarterback. You mean Spencer Sanders?
Sanders,
Yeah.
Same
I think he is. Is he back? That was your guy. Remember when you
I was
wanted
going to say Jack loves Spencer
Jack
Sanders.
he loved him some Spencer Sanders 3 years ago.
I would assume he's back because he was a true freshman or a redshirt freshman 3 years ago.
All right, so we move on to the SEC. Now, I have 5 teams I think feel good because you're not going to get in the way of SEC fans being irrationally overconfident. You're just not going to do it. Here's my 5 teams I think feel really good. South Carolina fans feel fantastic right now. They really believe in Beamer. The way he finished the season, going 7-6, beating North Carolina's ass in a bowl, getting to a bowl game with maybe the worst roster in the SEC outside of Nashville, really showed them they have a good coach. And then they got Spencer Rattler and Stogner from the transfer portal. They feel great. Tennessee fans feel great. They think Heupel is about to win multiple National Coach of the Year. They think Hendon Hooker's going to win the Heisman.
They just got that. I'm a lever, or whatever his name is.
A&M feels great because they just signed the #1 recruiting class in the country, and championships are won in recruiting, especially at the highest level. We're not going to get into that discussion right now, but the highest of the high, that's where you see the national champions created, and Texas A&M just put themselves there in recruiting. Arkansas fans feel really good because they've got a coach that looks just like them, fat and overweight and sweaty.
I knew you were going to take that shot. I was like, there's no way
Their
he's going to take
quarterback's
the high
coming
ground
back.
here.
They do feel good, though. And
Bumper Pool's coming back.
rightfully so. And they got Jadon Hazelwood from Oklahoma
Oh, yeah,
to
they did.
replace the only good player they had on offense.
No, I'm a KJ Jefferson stan.
He's not that good.
I think he's good, but I think he's good.
I don't think he's good.
I think he's a poor man's Cam Newton.
A homeless man's Cam Newton, perhaps.
No.
A homeless.
He's got the nicest trailer in the trailer park.
That's
I mean, at
he's
best.
not even the Walmart version. He's like the Dollar General version, with all due respect.
And then I think, I hate to say it, but I am objective. Ole Miss fans feel good. Lane Kiffin came in there and went to the fucking Sugar Bowl in his second year.
And then they did the transfer portal thing, which
And they won the transfer portal. They got Jackson Dart. Ole Miss fans feel really, really good.
I'm really excited to see how Jackson Dart does. He's a good storyline. I mean, obviously, I'm a Mississippi State guy because of Brandon, but I am excited to see what Jackson Dart does. They just got picked up Ulysses Bentley IV, which is definitely not he's not the first man named Ulysses to go to Ole Miss for sure. There's been a lot of Ulysses.
That was also a very weird addition.
Yeah, because they already got Zach Evans.
Right. What's he doing?
I think it's just you know what, Ulysses, he's going to have Ulysses, Jackson, and Zach Evans in the who knows. I think, and don't they have what's his name back? Snoop Connor?
No, I think he left. But anyway, those are my 5 that feel good. I got the team that doesn't know how to feel. It sounds weird because they're defending national champs, but Georgia fans absolutely don't know what to do with their hands right now. Georgia fans have gone. They've been the bridesmaids so many years. Now they're sitting there staring in the mirror at the bride's dress, and they're wondering, all right, well, what happens now? I don't know what happens now. They're not going to be the hunted, and I don't know how they're going to handle that. Now, it's a great place to be. You definitely want to be wearing that dress, but make sure you don't tear that dress.
See, I disagree with that because I think that in which is a great analogy that you just had, but like they're still in the honeymoon phase because they are still the bride.
No,
they still are the national champion. So then you get through, and everybody says, Brandon, and you can attest to this, like the first year or 2 years of marriage is the hardest. So like if they can go through the next season and have a good season, make the playoff, obviously if you win the national title, then they get another year of a happy marriage. The honeymoon
You're right.
phase.
This is silly. Of course, Georgia fans feel great right now.
No, I think
Right.
they're realizing, hey,
No, they're
the
not.
climb to the top,
Yeah.
a lot easier than staying at the
But
top.
I think maybe right now they don't realize that. I think
No, they don't. Why? And why would they?
maybe mid-October this year they'll be like, fuck. But right now they think
They'll text Bama fans on the side like, how do you guys deal with this all the time?
Granted, Georgia's been at the top, so it's like it is different. But like, I think any of us, me in this room and you guys in that room, if your team wins the national title, you're not going to not know how to feel until the season starts. You're going to be on a high because you just won.
And maybe that
The biological clock hasn't started ticking yet.
I think that clock, that clock of Stetson Bennett, they may see it's really close to midnight. Like, what are we supposed to do with this?
How do you feel about Mississippi State baseball?
Well,
different because it's our first national title in school history. Like we're not good in baseball this year, and I don't give a fuck. I will live off that thing. I'm going to be a hyena eating at that carcass for years and years and years. It's going to be disgusting by the time I'm done with it.
Any of the teams in here outside of the basketball program that I cheer for winning a national championship would be something that
that was such a dickbag thing to say.
You put on you put on the back.
You
put on your back and
you would kill for a national title
What
right now.
about
Y'all
the
have been
team-
wandering in the desert for 5 years now.
What about the basketball team
5
I
years.
root for?
5 years.
What?
What about the basketball
Also-
team I root for?
That's true. She's won a title more
Up in
recently
the
than you
final
have.
fucking four.
She's the one that said, man, like we're just happy to be here.
I'm
Like, we
the
shouldn't
only
be here."
defending national champion in this room.
No, okay, because
Ever heard
UConn's
of
not.
A&M track and field, you fuckers?
No, I haven't.
Well, A&M track and field, they're not. A&M's an Adidas school. They're Nike. Like, look it up, Jack. Look how many. Look.
Well, that
they're
shows how
so
irrelevant the program is, because if they were any good, Adidas would be like, wait a second, that's not allowed.
No, it's the opposite. It's like Nike's like, I appreciate Adidas. Nike is a much cooler brand. Nike's like, no.
You
Like,
think
we're gonna
Adidas
look
would
it
just
up.
be like, hey, Notre Dame's basketball program, we'll just let Nike take it.
No. Nike wouldn't let them go. Get it right.
All right. Now, I got only one program in the SEC feeling bad right now.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt, who gives a
They're
shit?
used, they're
Oh,
used
it's
to it.
Florida.
No.
Oh,
Florida fans,
yeah,
I'm
wrong.
confident.
LSU?
Nah.
Auburn.
Auburn.
What?
Auburn.
Oh, Auburn's happy.
It's Auburn. Auburn fans.
No.
Auburn just literally fabricated a fucking affair from their coach so they could fire him. They don't.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they feel bad. Auburn.
They absolutely feel. They know. They're looking in the mirror. They're looking to the east, and they see Georgia with a national title. They're looking to the west. They see Alabama, with their big old cock and balls right down. Auburn doesn't know what to do. They have the worst coach in the SEC. They hate their coach, and they can't get out from under him. They know they're trash this year, and they hate it. Auburn fans absolutely are miserable on the inside. Now, they're going to be delusional asshats on the outside. I already had a guy the other day said Robbie Ashford's going to win the Heisman. I'm like, Robbie, the fuck, who? And, Auburn fans are going through it right now.
I will say.
But they're not acting like they're going through it.
Yeah,
But they are going through it.
But they're not acting like it, and they will, even if they are going through it, even if they in the middle of the season they absolutely fucking stink, they will not admit that.
Because they're phony, they're fake, they're absolutely they have to act like Alabama even though they're not.
I have been in a few spaces with Auburn fans and other and seen tweets and whatnot. They have this theory that these Auburn players fought for Harsin this day, so they're going to play their hearts out for Brian Harsin. And they said, if I know one thing about Auburn football, it's these players are gonna play their hearts out for this coach.
First of all, don't ever fucking do a Southern accent again.
What? That was good.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was awful.
Nah, everybody
Retire
tweet me
that one.
Let me
out of
tell you
10.
how you know Auburn football fans are down bad.
Okay, tell me.
Because every Auburn fan on Twitter right now has a peacock emoji, and they just rode this basketball thing as far as they could. They didn't just start liking basketball. They don't give a fuck about basketball, but they give a fuck about winning, and they know their football program ain't getting close to it anytime soon, so they had to absolutely suck the tit of basketball, and they had to put the peacock emoji out there because they know their football program is the worst in the SEC West for the next 2 to 3 years, as long as Harson's there.
How funny is it they did that whole peacock emoji thing after
And then
the ninja, and then St. Peter's
the actual peacocks,
yeah.
yes.
Brandon, I will say something. I think any of us would do that.
Of course we would.
Right.
Of course we. I did it with baseball.
I'm doing it right now.
I did it with baseball. I don't give a fuck about baseball.
Well,
But
yeah,
you're a
no,
basketball
and then
school.
It's like, the A&M game last night. Like, it's the NIT, so no one really gives a shit. But I guarantee you guys, if you walk out the office right now, you're going to see a lot of maroon and white from A&M, because it's like that's what you do. You rally around. If you can just have some sort of championship.
The
you're gonna
NIT
rally
thing's
around it.
pathetic. I'm sorry.
Well, that's fine. I mean, there's a reason that I'm in Connecticut, not in New York.
If there's
So-
an NIT for football, you wouldn't even make it.
No, NIT. I think NIT's fine. I think the NIT would be cool for a school like St. Bonaventure's to win it. Texas A&M. It's cool that you guys have a better basketball.
I'll go
program.
the opposite way, and only for this reason. A&M is doing something the team should do a lot. A&M should have made the NCAA tournament. They should have.
I
And
agree.
they didn't. They got fucked. And they went to the NIT and said, you know what? Fuck all y'all. We're just about to steamroll teams. And they did. Most times when a team gets left at the altar like that and should make it and doesn't, they just go into a tank. They lose the first or second game and the season's done. A&M took it the right way and now is going to win the tournament they got put in as a fuck you to the rest of college basketball. I actually think that's admirable. Now, it sucks it's the NIT.
Remember, I know basketball and football are obviously different, but remember a few years ago when we talked about the Texas is back thing, where that was born from was when Georgia got left out of the playoff, and Georgia was fucking furious about it. And then they go to their bowl game and lose to Texas. And then, Sam Ehlinger says the whole thing because Georgia just didn't want to play because they were so mad they weren't in the playoff. So like, you're right. Like you see both. And again, I know basketball and football are different. But I do feel like if you feel like you get snubbed in anything, you don't really want to show up to the quote loser tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think the
I will say
NIT is a
this,
loser tournament.
Yes, you do.
You just did.
You
said
just
it.
said
that's
it.
what it was.
No. I said it's pathetic to brag about it.
What's
No.
okay?
No. You said it's pathetic.
Right.
No, NIT's not. UConn won it before they won their 4 national championships in men's basketball.
I hate this motherfucker so much.
He said it's pathetic. National up to student.
All right.
performance.
So we got one conference left. It's the Pac-12.
USC.
Yeah.
USC
everyone
feels
else.
good.
Yeah. You. Of course, you.
There's one fan base that feels amazing, and I
It's
think
not
they're-
USC.
Yeah.
Who
And
is
I
it?
think, and a lot of people, they're the not dark horse because everyone thinks they're the dark horse.
Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Utah also. Utah fans are a little bit tweaked anyway. Like they're a different sort of cat. You know.
They are, yeah.
Did you see the map that KFC put out today?
No, I
It
didn't.
was like excessive drinking by county, and then the
Oh,
entire,
I did see that. Yeah,
the
yeah.
entire country basically is blue. Wisconsin's entirely blue.
The
South
one
is-
dot in New Jersey is Brandon.
The South is fairly. I was about to say fairly
Light
white.
colored. Yeah.
Yes, but that's because that means no drinking. Utah entirely white, just out by itself.
I did see
The
that.
South doesn't drink. What's that?
It was weird.
It was
It
weird.
the whole South was didn't have excessive
Yeah,
drinking.
y'all have morals.
We do have, but there are rules down in Mississippi that don't exist anywhere else. Like I can't buy beer on a Sunday in Mississippi, which is,
But that actually existed in Connecticut for a very long time.
who's so
that seems incorrect, but whatever.
you think Utah?
Me?
Okay,
No,
No,
the
I'm
map.
kidding.
you think Utah feels good?
I think Utah feels great about themselves.
They do have the quarterback coming back,
And
Rising,
I think
right?
a lot of their players are coming
Like
back.
they would have won the Rose Bowl if he hadn't got hurt.
I think Utah's a good team. I think it shocks me as a what's a good example? There's always a team in the Pac-12 that feels like, oh, they're a national title dark horse.
Like Arizona State last year.
Yeah, that somehow then they lose a random Saturday night game at 10:30. Maybe it's the BYU. And then if Utah loses to BYU early in the season this year, it's like all out.
Yeah. Well,
They can still go and win the not national championship. They can go and win the Pac-12, which is good for them. However, I mean, I would love for Utah to be good in terms of national championship level, but I don't think they have it. I think they're top 15, top 20 team.
I'm putting all of my eggs in one basket for the Pac-12. I know it's his first year, so it's not fair. But if USC is good at football, it's good for the sport. It becomes a completely national sport again. So all of my eggs are in Lincoln Riley's basket.
Well, not only that, they were in purgatory with Clay Helton for 4 or 5 years. Every year was when are they going to fire him? When are they going to fire him? So they haven't been I can't remember the last time USC fans were pumped about who their head coach was. Does it go all the way back to Pete Carroll? Like, it's been a fucking while.
Well, I guess they were happy about Lane, right, or no?
Not really.
I think USC is going to have some issues this year.
Of course they will.
And it won't matter in term down the road, but I think they're not going to be very good this year.
But they're still happy with they at least have direction for the first time in years.
They'll have the same feeling.
And not only do they have their head coach, they know who their quarterback's going to be.
I have yes, they do.
And they're recruiting well.
I have two fan bases I think feel bad. The Arizona State Sun Devils have to be just miserable because they started to show life. They got their quarterback. They got the coach they believed in. Like, everything was going well, and then they have these NCAA things pop up, and then they lost their quarterback. Like every time they take a step forward, they take 2 steps back. Like, they're just never going to matter, are they? And it's got to feel like that. It's got to be weighing on you if you're out there in Tempe. I think Arizona State fans probably feel bad right now.
And Wazoo fans, too, a little bit. I think.
Yeah, but they're starting over at coach. I think
it was over at coach. I think they were a good team last year, and then they lost their coach due to vaccine mandates.
But they're starting over at coach. I think they got
you said it's not.
I think they got the new coach Hope.
That is true. They're in the honeymoon.
They have the new coach Hope. I would agree
Washington
with you, Brandon,
does too.
because last year going into the season, like on and off the field, we were kind of confused on what to think about Arizona State when they were having all those issues. And then it just proved to actually be, they just weren't the program that they could have been. And I do feel like when you have a coach like Herm Edwards, you should be able to have hope every single year. And I don't feel that from Arizona State fans.
And the other team I think feels bad is you got to feel bad if you're Oregon at this point, don't you? Like, there's no reason Oregon isn't on top of the Pac-12, and they can't keep a fucking coach.
New coach Hope, though.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's new coach. They hired Georgia's defensive coordinator. And
I think that's.
I don't think that's new coach Hope. Like, if you're Oregon and coaches are continually leaving you, like, you're a top 10 to 15 program in this country, and coaches keep leaving. You got to be confused.
The Dan Lanning hire, what if I was an Oregon fan? Let's say he's amazing.
Right.
He'll go to, like, let's say in 4 years, Josh
He's coming to the SEC.
He's going to Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah,
because he's a Southern. I mean, I don't know his exact roots, but I think he's going back to the SEC.
And in a world where Luke Fickell could presumably be had, in a world where Dave Aranda could possibly be had, I'm not getting excited about Dan Lanning. Now, Dan Lanning could end up being great, but I don't know how you can say that yet.
I mean, look at Georgia's defense for the past 2 years.
Look at Kirby Smart's recruiting. Like, Dan Lanning is a direct. When Nick Saban loses defensive coordinators, sometimes they're Kirby Smart, sometimes they're Jeremy Pruitt. And we don't know about Dan Lanning. Like, Dan Lanning is now getting away from the gravy train of Kirby's recruiting.
Now we're starting to see, like, Kirby has his own coaching tree.
Right. Kirby's about to have a coaching tree.
Mel Tucker was in it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's been great. And then, so we're starting to see it. We'll see if Dan Lanning. He was defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
So the last defensive coordinator that got hired from Georgia was Mel Tucker, which has been great. So if you wanted to spin it for Oregon fans, that would be it.
Yeah, but also it goes like directly against what we were saying. And Dan Lanning is, I wouldn't say as well known as Venables or Dave Aranda, but he's up there. Like, we just made the argument that if you're a coordinator for a really good program, offensive or defensive, and you go get a head coaching job, that you can prove it right away. So it's like, he did have a pretty fucking good defense. Recruiting does matter, but recruiting matters at Clemson and LSU too.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right.
I think we're gonna save a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we are definitely gonna save a lot of stuff. We gotta go. We're gonna save. So we're gonna save the random players. The random players to next week. And we touched on everybody throughout the country pretty much. So
what about some of the G5, Cincinnati?
Oh, Cincinnati, welcome back to just
UCF.
meaning nothing.
I think Cincinnati's going to be fine. They didn't lose their coach, which is shocking. So I think, and Kentucky, they also, we talked about new coach hope. They're going to have new conference hope. Like,
oh yeah,
they rode.
Never mind, I take it back.
They rode a great season into cashing out. I mean, they they got into a bigger conference. It's going to help them across the board in every sport. So I think Cincinnati's got to feel great right now.
For sure.
What about UCF?
UCF, they got Gus Malzahn. They're fucked for a while.
Fuck them.
I think Gus Malzahn might be one of the worst coaches in the country, and nobody talks about it.
Worse than Brian Harsin?
No. Notre Dame feels good. I'm not sure.
Really
We don't know if they should, but they feel really fucking good.
I kind of like them now.
What?
I realized it wasn't Notre Dame.
All it took was an attractive coach to come in.
Just
Oh no,
a
that's
good-looking dude.
Tommy Lee, not whatever.
Both of
Tommy
them
Reese.
Reese.
Both of them are attractive, I guess. I didn't know.
Tommy Reese more.
Katie, you do love Tommy Reese.
Oh, 100%. But regardless, I like in the same way with I like Oklahoma now, like Notre Dame more. I realized it was more Brian Kelly. Like when someone leaves somewhere where they think they can't succeed, I kind of want that place to succeed as a huge fuck you. So I'm not gonna root for Notre Dame, but will not be mad about success. And yes, Tommy Reese.
I like that pettiness. I'm all for that pettiness.
Yeah, like I don't have no personal beat. Well, it's been long enough that I've forgiven the ACC Notre Dame thing. I'm like, you know what? Move on.
Let it go. That's the mantra. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. That song's so
Brandon,
fucking
very
good. Hold
quick,
on.
I
How's it go?
I don't know. You have the kids.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. I haven't heard it in a while.
The great when
I was making, I was doing like little bracelet things with Reese the other day.
Yeah.
And I made a let it go one for like me, like let stress go.
Yeah.
And as soon as I said it out loud, she started singing the Frozen song.
Wow.
And I realized I've never seen that movie.
you should go see it.
It's a good movie.
I know.
It's
It
a
is
good movie.
Though I don't think this. I haven't
Hold
seen the
your
second, but it's
hold
bad.
your wrist up. Is that it? Oh, there it
It says
is.
Let it go, and it's in Machine Gun Kelly colors, obviously.
Oh.
I thought that was Brett the Hitman Hart colors, but okay.
You thought it was what?
Brett the Hitman Hart.
Who?
I got it.
No.
I'm
It's
going
Machine Gun Kelly. Get it right.
I'm going to WrestleMania tomorrow.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Yay. I'm going to see Brett.
This is your first time ever, right?
Yeah, last year
Last year you got
I got COVID. Yeah. I was a
Yeah,
loser.
that sucks.
Is there tryouts there
Fuck
right
off.
now too?
There's
Yeah,
college
but-
football tryouts there, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not college football, but like
No, there's
No.
college football player tryouts for
Yeah.
WWE.
player. Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. Well, there's a guy at UNC I'm friends with. He was on the track team, built like a football player because he's a thrower, and he's there now. So that's
Yeah.
why I saw that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw that.
You know who would be good at that? And I know that I think Jack, you might have said this before. I think Cash Daniel would be really good at that.
Yeah, he probably would.
Baker Mayfield,
I thought Will Compton would be good at it.
Rico Bosco.
No. He could not
Will
take the
Compton.
abuse. He would.
Will Compton would be great. I don't know. Wrestling fans are a whole different. They're like Barstool fans times a billion.
Also, Cash Daniel, who's like 6'2", a linebacker, would look tiny in wrestling.
Yeah.
He would not look big at all. It'd be weird. Well, some of the best wrestlers, like the main eventer, Roman Reigns, played at Georgia Tech for 4 years.
I mean, that's
Big E played at Iowa.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is so hot.
So hot.
So hot.
So hot. There
Stone
goes.
Is he married?
Oh, there goes old Katie Google over there.
Well, I
Is
want
he
to.
married?
Yes.
Roman Reigns, like reigns like a king, not like a thunderstorm.
Stone Cold played in North Texas, right?
Yeah, he played in North Texas.
Didn't Bray Wyatt play somewhere for a little bit, or maybe it was like a
He played
Oh,
somewhere. I think he also
right.
played in North Texas. Or West Texas. There's a school
Yeah.
out in West Texas where what's
Agreed.
he is hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Corbin
she
Corbin
agreed.
Burns, right?
He's huge.
No, Baron Corbin.
He's,
Baron Corbin.
What's
Corbin
his-
Burns is the baseball player.
Right.
What's the Aquaman?
Jason Momoa.
Gives that
He's very like Jason Momoa.
that vibes.
All right, that's a good show. Good show.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
We will.
And we had and Brandon, I know you have 4 of them, but I would like to point out I had no interruptions from children zooming today.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you have another.
She's well behaved.
Casey's acting like she has just dove into motherhood. Like she's this mother hen now. Like she's living in a fucking shoe with all her kids. Like just an incredible nursery rhyme lady. Like, you've been with a kid for 3 hours.
No, like
No, I
a
haven't.
week,
I've been
a
here
week.
for a week.
It's a figure
I'm
of
sorry.
speech.
No,
God,
no.
what-
I've
what
been
is-
here for a cup of coffee. Yes.
Thank you. A
But,
cup of coffee.
Also, I don't want to just completely rub it in. She is with her grandmother right now. So
Could
she
you get
wouldn't be interrupting
Could
me.
you get some sort of clip or ponytail holder next time so you're not doing this the entire show? Look at her. All right. That's the
Does she
thumbnail.
call-
Can that be the thumbnail right there?
Does
I'll
she
just-
call you
I'll sit lower,
Auntie
maybe.
She call you auntie?
Kayce or something?
No, she just calls me Kayce.
That's cool. That's cool.
Oh.
I'm a cool aunt. I bring presents.
What's all about that? She just calls her name.
No,
We've had this guy, like dogs and small kids are cute and are cute. I'm about to say in small doses, but I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
Both of you.
All right, we got to go.
With me?
Kate, no, not you. You're fine. Have fun with the Rutledges. We'll see you soon. That is everybody here. That is Unnecessary Roughness.
190.